A very warm welcome to Lieutenant General Satish Dua. He is a retired general officer of the Indian Army and he was the commander of the Kashmir Corps during the surgical strike in September 2016. So he is more known for fighting terrorists. At the same time, he has a active participation in humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Sir has authored a book known as Indian Brave Hearts, and he has recently, in an interview, he was being asked, how do you respect a soldier? And he has simply told everyone, the way to respect a soldier is to do what you do best and be a good citizen, a citizen worth dying for. Welcome, sir. And yesterday you had a roundtable conference with Pandit Mara Sahib. We want to know what is your opinion on that and what are the takeaways?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here. About yesterday's roundtable that we had, I would like to say I've attended many such events, participated in many discussions, seminars, webinars, roundtables, but this was something very different. Guruji's knowledge of international relations and other strategic affairs was impressive, but how it was interposed with the Indian way of doing things is something that I was very impressed by, and I think it led to a very interesting discussion leading up to how or how much potential India has of being a world leader, a thought leader in this realm.
Sir, as you know that there is a huge concern right now regarding the changing world order, and you have been very active on Twitter and social media also talking about the different political situations that are happening around the world with the Prime Minister resigning of Liz Truss and a lot of different things that you're very active on. So what is your opinion on the world order and how do you think spirituality can, give a shape to this new world order that is coming into being?
It is true that the world is undergoing a change. We in the 19th century was a century of colonialism, and that's how the countries were trying to influence each other. The 20th century was the era of world wars, where there were two world wars. We formed the Westphalian nation-state theory. We formed the League of Nations first, and then the United Nations, and then there was this Cold War. So blocks were divided, and then countries followed one or the other of the bloc. This era now the 21st century is the era, to my mind, of multilateralism. A new churn is taking place in which, to cut it short, long story short, I think India is destined to play an important role. It has already started happening. We have our own strategic autonomy vis-a-vis Russia and vis-a-vis USA or the West. We are following our own policies and not towing the line with any particular camp. It is also happening as India is growing economically. So our voice counts a little more. India is perhaps poised to be, I wouldn't use the word spiritual leader as of now, but poised to be a thought leader and provide leadership in a realm which is just different from the kinetics of military or the power of economy. But yes, before I end, I'd like to caution our soft power, whether it is our yoga, whether it is our able to deliver vaccines to the most of the world, whether it is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam that we follow, and in so many ways we help other countries, we reach out. That soft power is something that we will see it growing, in my opinion, and be leading the world or be the guiding light for the world. But soft power will have to go hand in hand with hard power. It will only happen when we become not only a $3 trillion or $8 trillion economy. It will only happen when our military is strong, because everyone does respect strength. So soft power and hard power will perhaps go hand in hand, with soft power taking a lead role.
So one last question before we end. So in your book India Brave Hearts, you have spoken about how young men in the army and they face life-threatening situations and they kill, like you said. Don't you think like conferences like this and the spiritual element is extremely important, not only in young soldiers but also in coping with the events of the army? So as part of the army they go through a lot of things, but after the army, like how you've written your book, that's a way of coping with the situations in your life. Do you think soldiers through this experience of spirituality can cope with the after effects of
That's what I mentioned, that a soldier copes with the PTSD, that is post-traumatic stress disorder, that is after combat. Whether you kill an enemy or whether you lose a soldier, this is a stress that is on our minds. And in the Western world, it's a big thing, a big deal is made out of it, which is true, which is right. Why we don't have so much of PTSD issues in our country is because of our family values, because of our community values. We have it's not a one man who goes back and starts living in a flat in New York after he finishes Iraq tenure. He's living with his family, his joint family, his family supports him. And then there is God, then there is religion. He goes to his mandir, gurdwara, temple, masjid, whichever denomination he belongs to. So, we have a lot of support system. And you're right, it is this support system that helps us cope with this PTSD better than the Western world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.